Hi. So the first little bit of this is going to be me just concentrating on sewing the necessary clutch wallets because it's a pattern that I'm not very familiar with. And then if my kiddos cooperate, we'll work on this pile of knot bags again. So yeah, I think I might actually need my ruler, but I will go get that if and when I need to. Actually, I do need it. I need it to actually, oh, right. I need it to actually measure down for the magnetic little thing that I need to put the snap. I'll be right back. All right, there it is grabbed. I did at one point actually have a 1x6 ruler, but I don't know where it's gone. Doesn't surprise me given the kids' propensity for stealing stuff, but it'd be nice if they left me my tools. What I need to do is, like, for those a little bit less expensive rulers, is just get a second set, I guess. All right. So yeah, I'm going to be listening to my audiobook, but I will answer questions as they kind of come up in the live chat. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. And let's get going on this. Just going to check one more spot. No. Okay. All right, so the first thing I need to do is the snaps. Oh, we need zippers too. Okay, I'm going to double check the pattern and make sure that I've got everything else that I need. Okay, so all the fabric stuff is done. But I need another ruler. Okay, we need 2 zippers because I'm going to make 2 wallets. I'll be right back again. Oh, and my clips. All right, I think I've got everything now. Just realized that little 1x6 ruler is probably somewhere super clever so that the kids don't get it. But the problem is it's super clever, so I don't remember where it is either. It's probably exactly what happened, actually. All right. Get a good view of the sewing desk. There's the zippers. Here's my ruler that we're going to use. What I need to do for organization is actually put some like shelves up here so that, yeah, I should actually put some shelves for like, sorry, we're going to move this over here. Should put some like picture lead shelves for the rulers that I use consistently at the sewing desk. Okay. Sweet. Right now, I am working on the necessary clutch wallet. Not talking much because I haven't made a lot of these, and so I am in concentration mode. I also just realized I don't have a lining for this one, so I'm going to go grab some fabric so that I can cut it out. There's nothing on the desk right now, so I will be right back. I'm just going to unclip the mic so that I don't hopefully yank it out and kill my sound again tonight. Be right back. All right, so we're just going to use a very simple lining for this one because it was so directional that I can't use fabric in it to actually line it. Whereas with this one, I'm making two right now. We're doing the Maneki Neko Lucky Cat bag as well. And it'll be lined actually in the fabric. So just about to putting those together, and then I'll be working on the interior pockets and card slots tonight. And obviously under the constriction of whenever my children wake up and need some comfort. Last night I just was able to put my eldest into my bed, which hopefully I'll be able to do again tonight as well. All right. We had a massive thunderstorm roll through again today. It's thunderstorm season here in southern Alberta. So that was fun. That obviously is sarcastic. It's not bad. I actually really like thunderstorms. And so far so good, it doesn't disturb the kiddos either. I'm doing a very scientific cut here. These are going to work perfect with kimono as well. And so I'm going to probably line those, or not kimono, obi, which are the belts that go over the kimono. I was looking at how I could place the main body and flap, and it will look absolutely spectacular when I actually get to it. So that'll be once I learn some more ins and outs of actually making these. All right, just about there. Come here, my pretty. Did I cut you too thin on the ends? Nope. Yes, just barely. Okay. Okay. Now I'm just going to cut a square of this because I'm going to end up sewing around it anyway, and that'll just work better. Okay. So I'm prepping these in preparation for got a few events coming up. I've got a show at Ancient Arts Yarns, pop-up show, July 15th. It's the second Saturday of Stampede. There'll be a pancake breakfast and a bunch of other vendors as well. I think as long as the weather's good, the parking lot's basically going to get taken over, which is super cool. And then the next market that I'll be at is Omatsuri, which is at the Max Bell Center in Calgary. And then after that, I will be going to Knit City in Vancouver, which is September 22nd to 24th, with the market dates being September 23rd and 24th. All right. Attach the flap. The right side of exterior. Okay. Oh, okay, so it's right sides together. Okay. What side? Da, 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 da. Let's see. Okay. So we're gonna do the cupboard cats first. I love this fabric. I love how it came together. This was like some of the last pieces of it as well, so I'm really happy I'm actually able to use it for this. And make a crease and just make sure that I line up the centers. Right, like left. There we go. And then it actually calls for pins. So we're going to pin it here. Oh yeah, we need to actually line it up a bit more. I actually had to go back in and trim down some stabilizer. So I hacked this pattern a little bit because I'm using quilt cotton exteriors and stuff. And the last experimental one that I made the flap without a good stabilizer in it. So these ones are actually an experiment with a firm sew-in stabilizer. But unfortunately, I had to go back in and actually trim a little bit of the stabilizer off just because it just wasn't working. There wouldn't be enough fabric to actually sew this flap on otherwise because it was the last little bit of fabric. There's fray on the edge because I pre-washed my exterior fabrics. Anyway, okay. Oh, right. And then there's a hack for the interior. Okay, so I'm going to base this on, and then we'll go in and we'll do the hack with the lining. Just so it's held in place and I don't have to worry about it when I'm actually sewing it. At least you don't have to worry about it as much. Using a domestic machine, please do not sew over your pins. It will hurt your machine. All right, and if you are new to Atelier Nikuzuki, because I'm not sure who's viewing, I make project bags for knitters, and now accessories from Japanese fabrics that I hand select in Tokyo and Kyoto. And if you have any questions, feel free to pop them in the chat and I'll answer as I look up. Now, this... Okay, I gotta go onto YouTube because there's a hack for this, for making it easier to turn. I don't even know which video it's in. I've been wanting to make wallets for a while, and hey, I'm even on it with the okay. All right. So basically, there'll be a slit in the lining that then gets covered up later from stuff, because otherwise you end up having to turn it and potentially have like a really ugly kind of top stitch seam that just, I don't know. This was a lot more attractive on the experiment one that I did, and from what I've seen online and stuff like that too. And then we actually cut a 6-inch line, grab stuff to make the markings. I do have a 1x6 ruler somewhere, but I don't know. My studio's a disaster right now. We just I moved stuff around, and I have a feeling my kids might have taken the ruler and hidden it somewhere. Is that a convenient excuse? Yes. Is it probably the truth? Also, yes. These kids. It's not the kids, it's the cats, that's for sure. All right. I need to go get my shears sharpened. Holy. Shouldn't have a problem cutting through that. Oh, I just cut a bunch of stabilizer last night. I probably dulled them down quite a bit. All right. Now we're going to sew around the edge at something seam allowance. Yep. Okay. All right, so we're just going to make sure that that is actually lined up with the center line. Since I folded it in half, there we go, although really it doesn't matter. Now I can just sew around at the suggested seam allowance, and life is good. Okay, I'm going to start on the side so I can actually see where my seam allowance is. There we go. I have a feeling that is not quite where it should be. So this would be the benefit to actually cutting the lining and the interior, or the interior and exterior, and making sure that they were aligned instead of cutting the square. Or if I was using lighter interfacing, which I am not, because the current one that I use actually gives it a really nice body. Okay, now we're on the flap. Stitch, stitch, stitch. Another one thing is I don't want to really catch that stabilizer in the actual sewing, because otherwise it's going to make the it really bulky at that seam at the top, which is unattractive. There we go. So I've been wanting to make wallets for a while, but it took me a while to A, find a pattern that I really like, and B, to work up the, oh shoot, stitch that. Way too big a stitch allowance. It's more like basting stitch. Okay, well, I guess we'll go around again. Let's start at the flap this time. We'll just follow the same stitch line, which will help actually. Anyway, I've been wanting to make wallets for a while. I don't know why I never saw the necessary clutch wallet. The pattern's from Emmeline Bags. It's super popular. But it just never really caught my attention until I saw some tutorials from Okla Roots. The other one I really like is Patterns by Miss Freckles Designs. Obviously, I've been making her May glasses cases. There, I can correct this seam allowance. So I really like her instructions, but I found with the stabilizer that she used that they were difficult to turn. I don't know. Maybe I just need to hack the pattern. It was really nice because it was actually a zipper wallet. This one is a snap closure, which is nice too. Probably more accessible as well. There we go. Since snaps are definitely easier to open, or typically easier to open. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to trim down around the corners with my pinking shears so that we get those nice notches, and it'll make the corners really nice once I turn the wallet. Anyway, it took me a long time to decide what wallets I wanted to put into production. This is one of them. If it's popular enough, there's actually templates for it that I will buy, because it'll make cutting the curves way easier. Eek. That's close. Now, obviously, I don't want to cut my stitching line, so that's just what I'm trying to avoid, while also reducing the actual amount of fabric, obviously, in the seams as well. Now, I can't leave the rectangle of interfacing and fabric, but rather than having to take the time to cut everything down, this is quicker and easier. Okay, we're just going to trim across the top bit of the flap here. It doesn't need quite as much. Might go back in with my shears for that in a moment too. No, we're good. Okay. Around the corner. Just notching everything up. And yes, I am a slob. Not really. I'm efficient. Everything just drops to the floor and I'll pick it up later. All right, so we got this nice hole right here. Now we still have to be careful because obviously we don't want to like tear it. But we can just turn everything out of this hole nice and easy instead of having to worry about doing it on an edge, which I find way less nerve-wracking. I say as I like just stuff everything through. There we go. Ta-da! All right. Now, if I were going to behave myself, I would go press this with an iron. Am I going to behave myself? Probably not. There we go. So I can finger press this around like that. Oh, this is going to be cute. Okay, that does actually need a press. So what I'm going to do now then is I just realized that the card wallet and the card pockets are probably going to need a press too. So we'll ignore that for now then. We'll just finger press this. I'm supposed to top stitch this. So that's what I'm trying to work towards right now. I think, except, yeah, the body of it needs a nice press so that it's not so wrinkly, but that feels really good. It feels like, and once it gets all like folded up and constructed, it'll have a lot more body as well. I love the new, there we go, you can kind of see it, but it's a metal tag with Atelier Nekazuki. And I can show you what this will look like in a like kind of ramshackle fashion. Obviously this isn't how it'll be finished, but that's what it'll look like when it's finished. So I really like the curve on the front here. Obviously there'll be a magnetic snap, and then the interior is card pockets and it's actually folded twice on the sides there, and it's a zip pocket and then just a divider. So there's actually like a couple little slip pockets in the wallet as well. That is looking really good. That flap feels like a proper flap now, which is good. So the last one I made, I didn't put that stabilizer on the inside of it. And it was like, it feels like it's going to tear as soon as someone starts using it. So I will put it up for sale. The seconds sale though, just because, or prototype sale, not a seconds. It's still good enough to use, but it's kind of with the warning of like, this will wear out faster than what I want it to. So when I do the, I just realized that I do actually want to use the rivet snaps on this. Oh, curses. Because now I need to put the snap on the exterior. But I don't have extra stabilizer in there right now. Because then it would just have like a little button rivet right here, and it would be super extra stable. Yeah, so let's just pull the male snap out of here. And I'll pull it out of the other one as well, because this already has stabilizer on this side. And then I'll put a little bit of fray check on the fabric, since I had to cut it for the snaps. Okay, now the question is, can I actually get it pried up? Oh, yeah, there we go. Oh, some days. Okay. Should be using my cheaper shears or thread snips for that. Okay. Now I can still probably use that. It'll just be a little bit more difficult. All right, and then we're going to pull it off of this one as well, and we'll just do a magnetic snap from the beginning here. So the magnetic rivet snaps are actually one of the main reasons that I bought a cam snap press. I've had a snap press for years, but cam snaps, you might know if you're in the sewing community, they're the people known for like the plastic snaps that get used on a lot of cloth diapers and stuff like that. And that's all I thought that they were used for. But again, thanks to Okla Roots, I found out that they actually do snap press rivet snaps. Now, of course, the die don't fit the snap press that I've had for years. And I actually didn't like my snap press I'd had for years because I figured out it was missing a piece. There we go. That like basically holds the arm up so it's not consistently squishing your fingers. So at least there's that, and then I don't have to try and figure out how to fit the die into the current snap press. So now I have cam snap press because of these magnetic rivet snaps. They're super cool. They're actually what I use on the May glasses cases as well. So they're this guy. So they're way thinner. That looks like it needs to be pressed again. They're thinner and they're just a little bit more of an afterthought one. So like on these guys, there'll be a little bit like there'll be a rivet on this side, and the same with the wallets. But now it'll actually be better because then I don't have to worry about the flap not being stabilized. I'll go through all the stabilizer that's already in here and it'll be fine. So I'm just going to grab some fray check so that I can pop that onto the, those are two different colors. Okay, they're two different bags. Because I grabbed some glue fray check to just put on the fabric that's been cut. I'll be back in one moment. So the rivet will actually cover the fabric, so I'm not that worried about it, but I also don't want it like spreading because there's no interfacing, like there's stabilizer, but there's no interfacing there. So all I'm going to do is take some fray check. It feels like I need to pierce it because it's probably glued shut. We also do have a quality control inspector on duty, and the other one's sleeping in their cat tree with the heating pad. All right. Try and get a pin through this quagmire of stuff. Come on. I know, you have 0. Oh, I shouldn't chuck that. We'll put that in the actual garbage. Or at least there. There we go. Clear the nozzle out. Sweet. All right. Yeah, there we go. It's happy now. So fray check's what's used like on ribbons and stuff like that to stop it from fraying. So we're just going to put the daub kind of right here. And then, like I said, the rivet snap will also cover this, so you won't even see it. But it's just a bit of peace of mind for me. Okay, so that's going to have to dry now. Where should I put you? Right there will work, I think. Yeah. And then this one, can't even see them hardly. Go. Could probably use glue for this as well, like Beacon 3-in-1 or something like that. But since I have fray check, let's use fray check. There. So now I've put a little bit on the interior on the stabilizer, and then there's some on the exterior to let it heal up a little bit. So I find that I don't use a lot of fray check on my ribbon anymore because it does make it kind of, well, I do on my drawstring bags, but it's partly why I switched to leather cord instead of the polyester ribbons for the Kato bags, is because I find that fray check does make the ribbon ends a little bit crunchy. So I try to use as little as possible. All right, these magnetic snaps. We'll go with these guys and can be used later. And now we're going to go in and sew the card pockets. Okay. This, I love card pockets. I always dislike making them. Okay, so we need one card slot pocket. Let's start there. Okay, those are zipper pockets. Here's the card slot. Okay, so here's our card slot fabric. I'm going to use this for the card slots for both of the bags, or both of the wallets. Now, I need my bigger ruler. There it is. Sweet. All right. Aha, okay, I see. Okay, so working from the left. So we go through and we mark the folding lines first. Okay, so line this up here. Actually, we'll line it up this way because that'll be easier to work from. Go, and then I need my marking pen, which is right there. Okay. Oh, I see. That's what it means by that. Okay. So start from here. Okay. Square it up. Square it up. Go. Okay. Math, math, math. Although realistically, I don't have to do math. I just have to measure from that line. All right. Square you back up. Draw the line. We'll go to the next one. I'll probably go through and actually mark all of these so that I can just sew them all at once since I'm making 2 wallets. And okay, there we go. Now I can work this way. Hey, and then I can just line it up. And I don't have to worry. Anyway, I will go through and mark both of these because that's just more efficient mentally for me. I'm apparently in a fairly good headspace to be doing not math, but measurements. Okay, and then this is part of what I actually want the template for. Is I think it's got a card slot template, so that then you can just like lay it on top of it and not have to constantly measure. Although I have invested in an 8 by 8.5 or an 8.5 by an 8.5 ruler, and it is already making this way easier than last time. Besides having to like keep track of where I am in the pattern. There we go. Sorry, this is probably really boring to watch because I don't know how much you can actually see. But trust me, it's riveting. Okay. There we go. Okay, so it says there should be 6 lines total. Let's see if I did this right. 3, 4, 6. Yes, we did it. All right. And then flip over. Start folding. Oh, I'm supposed to be pressing with my iron as I go. Let's just use, oh, right. I got this handy dandy tool from Japan. It's right there. It's even within the hand's reach. So it's a little seam roller. So that actually should work really well for this. All right, so we're supposed to flip it and then fold it along the lines that we just made. Like this. Now, the nice thing is that the interfacing that I'm using on these, oh yeah, that is so good. Okay, I'm actually going to bring you guys a bit closer so that you can see this as I'm working on it. So come sit right beside me. And let's do these card pockets together. Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, that actually, yeah. So part of this is the interfacing I'm using is kind of papery. It would be equivalent to a craft use or Decor Bond 809. Okay, I'm just going to check to make sure. And so it's kind of got a papery finish. I get it from a local supplier in Calgary. Make sure that's straight. And that also helps lend to these nice crisp lines. It does give the wallet a really nice hand. It's actually what I use on the body of the wallet. So like, look at that. That's so nice. Okay. It's what I used on the body of the wallet to fuse the stabilizer to the flap, and then for like the oval full body as well, the exterior. Oh, that's very satisfying. And so yeah, it's just giving it nice crisp folds. I like this seam roller because now I don't have to pull my iron out. Okay, let's see here. The only problem is, so I might actually try and fold the other ones with the wrong side facing me, just because it might be a little bit easier to see the lines and make sure we square everything up. I'm gonna make sure that stuff doesn't like wander in an angle here. I think we're good so far. Yeah. This angle up top is fine because I can always even that up a little bit. Okay, so let's press this line down here as well. We're going to fold all of these lines up and out of the way like that. Okay. Give it a nice press, and then we've got one more line to fold down on. And then this is what I don't like about card pockets. I love them and I hate them. There we go. Okay. Nice, crisp card pockets. Let's see. Good. Good. So there's one card pocket. Now I'm going to actually see what should they say. Repeat. Oh, okay, and then it wants you to like do the other one and then do the top stitching. Scoot. Okay. Let's just do the top stitching. Since I'm already here, and then I'll do the other 3 card slots next. All right, we're just going to use black thread. That's what I have in my machine right now, and it'll actually look pretty good with the, it'll reflect the maneki-neko on the exterior of the one at least really well. There we go. Now, typically I would, so with the other 3, I will go through and I will do these all at once, but I just want to show you on this one, and then I won't have to talk through the other ones. Right now I'm top stitching the flaps, or the card slot pockets. I like chain piecing stuff because it actually is a thread saver. It's definitely a time saver, rather than having to go through and like clip these every single time. Come here. There we go. I think you're supposed to actually hold on to those as you're stitching out, but I don't typically have a issue. All right. I'm supposed to refold and baste. It's basically just top stitching on the edges. All right, so now we fold the pockets back up. That little seam roller, hem roller, whatever it's called, is going to work out amazing for these projects. There we go. And then I'm going to trim these threads so they don't get in the way when I'm sewing, although they'll all be hidden. There we go. All right, then what does it want me to do? So those are all fairly straight across. So we have a pocket. And then Okay, and then base with an 1/8 of an inch. There we go. So if you want to make this pattern yourself, it's the Necessary Clutch Wallet by Emmeline Bags. Emmeline Bags is actually fairly local to me. I buy a lot of the hardware from them because they're in Spruce Grove, which is about a 3-hour drive north. Well, I guess 3.5 hours from where I am, but close enough to be local. They're in Alberta still. It's really hard to find hardware that's like good at a cost that actually allows you to make bags as well. That's key usually. Okay, there we go. And then actually I'm gonna sew, no, wait, we gotta go this way. So yeah, if you've seen these hem rollers though, they can be restrictively expensive in North America. And I lucked into the actual roller in a, did I get it at Nomura? I might have. Anyway, one of the Japanese fabric stores I went to in November, I actually picked it up. I've actually picked up some really cool tools in Japan, and like that are available in North America, but are very expensive. And so, excuse me. Yeah, it's something that I will be looking for more tools when I'm there for other fabric trips, because why not? All right, let me just mute my mic and see if he settles. One moment. All right, we're in the clear. He just did a rollover and a little bit of just a whinge. Both kids went to bed really early for them, so I might be paying it on for it on this end that they will wake up a bit earlier. But you never know. Sometimes they sleep through, sometimes they wake up. So we just go with the time that I have right now. I also drink iced coffee, probably too late in the day, so I am nowhere near ready for bed myself. It is just after 10 here, so that's not too bad. Okay, we'll do the other two of these now. Some nice, oh, you can't actually see that on that camera. Probably should just print these instructions out instead of like doing the slouch over my phone. Like paste them to the wall just above my head here. I actually have Kato pocket instructions up there because it's just an easy reference. Even though I've made probably close to 100 of those bags now, which now that I think of it is crazy. That's insane how many I've already made in the last year. So thank you. I really appreciate the fact that you guys are loving those bags. Okay. It's Canada Day weekend here. If you're not from Canada, that means basically Independence Day. Lots of celebrations going on. It's also basically thunderstorm season in southern Alberta. Oh, wait. No. Oh, good thing it's an air erasing pen. There we go. So yeah, it was like I looked at the forecast earlier this week and there was nothing. It was supposed to be sunny and hot. Actually, not too hot even, kind of like moderate. And now it's basically like thunderstorms every day. Although it's funny because there's been unforecast rain for the past 3 or 4 days anyway. So may as well just throw in a chance here and there so that people aren't looking at the forecast like, why? Why do we have rain when it wasn't in the forecast? It's good though because we really needed the rain. And I hope northern Alberta and northern BC are getting it too because the wildfires are out of control, unfortunately. I lucked out that I wasn't actually home for the start when it was really bad. Carolina and I were actually in Japan. And so we avoided the worst of the smoke the last time it was here. But I know a lot of places are getting it blowing in right now, and it's no fun. Obviously, it's really bad for the people actually suffering from the fires as well. I used to live out in Radium Hot Springs, and one summer we were nearly cut off from everyone because there's fires everywhere. So there's a fire north of where we lived, and then there's a fire in Kootenay National Park. And I know this because I used to work at the information center at Radium Hot Springs. But the fire that nearly cut everything off was actually burnt 13% of the park. Now, a lot of this is due to mismanagement of fire in the last while, but hopefully everything kind of starts to get reset here. All right, there's all of them marked, and that sounds like my youngest might need a resettle here soon. Oh yeah, okay. I am going to say that I am going to end the stream because, as you can hear, they are very upset. But I will be coming back if I can get them resettled. So watch for me in about 10 to 15 minutes, so around 10:30. And if I can't, I will post to Instagram. But yeah, I definitely want to come back and finish up at least these card pockets. I'm really close to finishing these wallets actually. So hopefully I'll be back at about 10:30. Thanks so much for joining me so far, and I'll chat with you soon.